Along with the release of the second episode, we were shown a lot of additional information, including deleted scenes of the new episode, which we will talk about today. And we'd like to start with the scene where Kane deleted Gummigoo from the digital circus, causing Pomni to have a panic attack.
I know you guys love your NPCs, but if I start losing track of who's a human and who's an NPC, who knows what could happen? Well, I'm gonna go drink water. It's been a while since I've done that.
And immediately we were shown that initially the creators make all the characters because all the environment around them is a gray background. And if you look at the models of Kane and Pomni, you can immediately realize that they are far from ideal. Pomni doesn't have any lightening and darkening yet, while Kane's eyes look very creepy as usual. And since no color work has been done yet, Pomni's panic attack scene looks twice as scary as it did in the second episode. Many people also expressed their satisfaction with the perfect movements of Fudge Monster and how well the creators did with the fluid movements in that moment.
I am the Fudge. I used to live within the kingdom walls, but I was banished by that rotten princess after I ate too many of the delicious townfolk. Oh, they were so delicious. Sometimes I can hear them calling to me.
Again, as in the previous scene, except for the liquid in which Fudge is floating and the truck with the characters, nothing else is done. And the monster itself, even though it looks very close to what was shown in the new episode, still many details that greatly affect the evaluation of the work were not ready yet. For example, all of Fudge's movements that we see in the second episode were already ready, but their smoothness was finalized. About color correction, I will not repeat for the second time, but about the monster itself, I will say a few more words. We can see that originally the teeth were a little different color, and in the eyes we still do not see a lot of circles as in the final version. One of the most touching scenes in the new episode is the first meeting of Pomni and Gummigoo, as a result of which Gummigoo, from the main anti-hero of the episode, turns into a very upset alligator whose world is completely turned upside down, because he learned that all his life and memories are just an illusion that Kane invented.
Why are you trying to cheer me up? How does this benefit you at all?
I guess I just don't want you to feel like you're nothing. I don't want anybody to feel like that.
But I'm not even a real person. Would I even belong?
I'm sure you wouldn't belong any less than me. And I could use a friend.
And here we can already see a more pleasant image behind our characters. If in the previous scenes we saw only a gray background and incomprehensible blurring, in this scene there is an outline of the backstage in which Pomni and Gummigoo are caught. And from this, we can assume that this moment was animated near the middle of the whole process of creating a new episode. Since Pomni has been in development for a long time, it's obvious that Kevin Temmer and the rest of the animators have already had her model for a long time, and it's perfectly visible against the background of Gummigoo, who is still just an outline of the character, and his body is just gray. And also this scene shows the quality of the creators' approach to the second episode, because the interesting color correction in the final version makes me give them a standing ovation, especially considering how it all started. Now let's move on to the scene where Pomni hangs between two trucks and can't hold on, while Jax prepares to shoot.
Here it is. All right, Pomni, you just stay like that and I'll cross over.
Are you kidding me?
Nice going, Pomni. Now I have no bridge.
And here we already realize that at this point, the creators are closest to the final part of creating animation, because there are already present at least some colors, in addition to those that we see in the characters. And also note that the body of Pomni is no longer a classic fill, but has lightning. I also find it amusing that many characters in the intermediate version have very strange eyes. Also funny is Jax's weapon, which was originally green and Kevin Temmer got a bachelor's degree for it. And if you look at this scene in more detail, it gets a little creepy to realize how such movements came to be in his head. And now, we're back to Pomni and Gummigoo.
I don't know. We're somewhere under the map, I think.
Map? Why aren't you or any of your crew up here?
I'm not sure. Because we are not, NPCs?
NPCs? What are you on about? What are you people?
And this scene finally confused me, because in the previous similar scene we saw outlines of locations, and here, all this is not. but most likely Kevin Temmer in this way wanted to show us different stages of the process of creating animation. Because here Gummigoo, although far from ideal, but still has at least some color and separation into light and shadows. And now we move to the most visual scene that showed us the preparation for the eulogy on Kaufmo, in which took part absolutely all characters except Jax. And very soon I will make a video about this rabbit and tell you why he is the one on whom you should not be a fan. And in fact, it is Jax who can set everyone up at the most crucial moment. And if in the pilot episode it was not so obvious, the second episode proved it to us 100%. And now back to the scene.
Got everything ready.
Hey, you at least want to join us for Kaufmo's funeral? We like to have a little funeral service to remember the people who abstract. This one just got pushed around a bit with your arrival and everything.
It's the least we can do to honor their memory.
And the first thing to notice is that Ragatha's dress in the final version has a purple color, while the intermediate version shows us a blue dress. Also on the body and on one of Zubal's legs we don't see the usual stripes, while Jax is paler than we are used to seeing him. Now let me show you a funny fragment where the animator decided to have fun and showed us how Max and Chad can dance. We didn't see much useful here, but already here we realized that Gummigoo was the main priority, because his body against the background of other alligators remained gray, which means that his final model was left at the end in order to make maximum efforts to achieve the best result. Today, we have already talked about Fudge Monster, and now let's see how the creators worked on his movements. And already here the progress is obvious, but the most important thing I think is to show you how the other main NPCs of Candy Canyon Kingdom were created. I'll show you animations of their movements while walking and talking. Let's talk about the rest of the NPCs. I think that many of you noticed that in the pilot episode, the dummies were creatures that were concentrated in one place, and some of them even tried to kill Pomni. While in the second episode, many of them are very friendly characters despite the fact that one of them pushed Gangle during the release of Princess Lululalu, and we were shown all the animations of their movements. We realize that the animators have tried very hard to create even such minor characters as mannequins. Well, now it's time to show you the final part of my video, namely a huge number of cursed scenes that can make you smile. Write in the comments which of these scenes you like the most. Well, this is the end of our video, and I want to wish you a good day and patience while waiting for the next episode. Bye-bye, everybody.